Hi, welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today we are dealing a question that requires the rearrangement of array. So you have been provided with an array that contains positive and negative numbers, and you have to place them alternatively starting from the positive one. There might be a case where the number of positive or negative numbers are not equal. So if there are more positive numbers, they appear at the end of the array, and same goes for the negative numbers. For example, as you can see, we have this input array -1, 2, -3, 4, 5, 6, -7, 8, and 9. Our requirement of the output will be starting from positive, which is 4, and then a negative, then positive, then negative, positive, negative, and the remaining positive elements appear at the end of the array. So we can clearly see in this case that we have our desired output. Now we are assuming in this question that the relative ordering of the elements do not matter. There might be a case where the output will be different, but there is only one restriction that we have to take care of, that is the placement of positive and negative numbers alternatively. Now let's see the brute force approach. So in this case, this is our input array. So what we can do is we can create two temporary arrays, one that will hold all the positive elements of the input array. So that will be designated as a positive array, and another can be a negative array that will hold all the negative elements of our input array. So in this case, this will be our positive array as it is holding all the positive elements of our input array, and this will be our negative array. Okay. Now in the next step, what we can do is we can start picking up the elements from positive and negative array alternatively and place them in our input array. So what will happen here is, now 2 will get picked up and it will occupy the 0th position in our input array. Now minus will get picked up and it will occupy the first index. Now 4 from the positive array will occupy the second index. -3 will occupy the third index. 5 will occupy the fourth index, and -7 will occupy the fifth index. As we can see that the negative array in this case is now exhausted. So we have to check the remaining elements from the positive array and start copying those elements one by one into our input array. So what we'll do is we'll just copy 6 at the sixth index of our input array, then 8 at the seventh index of our input array, and 9 at the eighth index of the input array. As we can clearly see, now we have got our desired output, which was alternative positive and negative elements starting from the positive one, and if there are any positive or negative elements extra, then they'll appear at the end of the array. So the time complexity of the brute force approach will be n. Why? Because we are iterating through every elements once. And the space complexity will be also n, because we are dividing our input array into positive and negative, which will ultimately be of size n. Can we do better? Yes, we can. We can utilize the quicksort partition approach in this case. So what happens in the partition part of the quicksort is we take a pivot element and we segregate our array in such a fashion that all the elements that are smaller than the pivot lies to the left of the pivot element, and all the elements that are greater than the pivot will lie to the right of the pivot element. So in this case also we want some partition. So instead of creating a separate positive and negative element, what we can do is we just want the partition, and we want all the negative elements on one side and all the positive elements on the other side. So what we can do here in this case is we can use 0 as our pivot element, so that all the negative elements will lie at the left hand and all the positive elements will lie on the right hand. So now once we have our array partitioned around pivot, which is 0 in this case, so what we'll do is now we can just start picking up the elements from the negative and positive part of the array, and we can just swap it up. Okay, so but the negative index will just get incremented by 2 since we are dealing in alternative fashion, and positive will get incremented just by 1, and we'll do the swapping. Now let's see the explanation that will help you in better understanding of this approach. So yeah, this is our input array. Okay, so what is happening in this input array is what we are doing is I told you to consider pivot as 0. So what we do in partition is we just have a index that points to -1, and we iterate our I from 0 to the complete length of the array. And now what we'll do is we check whether my ith element is less than 0 or not. If it is less than 0, then what we do is we increment our p index and we swap the elements present at the p index and the ith index. Since my I is at the 0th location and element present at the I is -1, which is obviously less than 0. So what we are going to do in this case, we'll increment our p and we are going to swap this element present at the pth index and the ith index, which in this case will have no effect. Okay. Now what will happen is, now I will get incremented to the first index. Now we can see that 2 is not less than 0, so we don't have to do anything and we'll increment our I. Again, -3 is less than 0. So what we have to do, we have to increment our p index and we have to swap the elements present at the p index and I index. So after swapping, this will become -3 and this will become 2. And now my I is ready to go for the next iteration. Now we can see that 4 is a positive element. So obviously we don't have to do anything. We'll increment our I. Now 5 is again positive. 6 is again positive. Now -7 satisfies the condition of being smaller than the pivot element. Now again, we'll increment our p and we'll swap the elements present at the pth index and the ith index. Now after swapping, this will become -7 and this -7 here will become 2. Okay. Now my I is ready to go for the next iteration. Now it is at the 7th index, which is positive, so we do not have to do anything. Now 8th index element is 9, which is again positive, so we don't have to do anything. Now our loop is complete. Now we have our partitioned array, which is -1, -3, -7. So till this point, we have all the negative elements, and 4, 5, 6, 2, 8, 9, all the positive elements are after that. Okay. So since our p index was at 2, we can clearly see that our positive elements are starting from the p plus 1th location, that is in this case the 3rd index. Now we'll introduce 2 separate index to have the control over where our negative array is starting and where our positive elements are starting. So we'll have our negative index initialized to 0 because obviously all the negative elements are at the front end, and obviously that is going to start from the 0th index. And my positive will start from the p plus 1th index, which in this case is the 3rd index. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we just have to swap the elements because we want our positive element first. Now once we do the swapping, this will become 4 and this will become -1. Now we don't have to do anything for the first location because we want first index to be negative. So we'll increment negative by 2 and this will point to the second index. Now positive will point to the 4th index. Again swapping will occur and this will become 5 and this will become -7. Now negative will get incremented by 2 and positive will get incremented by 1. Again we have to do the swapping. This will become 6 and this will become -7. Okay, now negative will get incremented again and it will point to the 6th index of our array, and the positive will get incremented and it will also be on the 6th index. As we can see, there is no further need of swapping. So this is one of our terminating condition where positive and negative, if they are equal, so we will not continue the loop. So we'll continue the loop till our positive index is, our negative index is less than the positive index. So now you have your desired output. As you can see, we have 4, which is positive, -3 negative, 5 positive, -1 negative, 6 positive, -7 negative, 2 positive, 8 and 9. These are all the 3 extra elements that are obviously at the rear end of the array. So here you go with your desired output array. Okay, fine. Now let's just discuss about the complexities. Now obviously here the time complexity will remain n because we are still iterating through all the elements, but the space complexity is constant, as we are not creating any temporary positive and negative array. Rather, we are utilizing our input array in such a fashion that it is helping us in segregating the negative and positive elements and doing the job. Okay. Now let's see the Java implementation of our optimal approach. So we have this rearrange function that takes two parameters, an integer array and the size n. Now we have our partition index, in this case I, which is initialized to -1, and a temporary variable that we are going to use for the swapping purposes later on. Now we'll start our jth loop from 0 and we'll check if the element present at the jth index is less than 0. If this condition is true, then it is eligible for swapping. Okay, so how we do the swapping in our partition method? We just increment our partition index and we swap the elements present at the partition index and current jth index. Now these three lines will do the swapping for us. After this for loop will get executed, we'll have an array that will have negative elements in all the negative elements in the front end and all the positive elements in the rear end. Now we have to do the alternative placements of positive and negative elements. So for that, we'll introduce two new index, which is POS and NEG. Now NEG is going to mark the beginning of negative elements in our array, which will obviously start from the 0. And the positive elements in our array will get marked by POS index, which will start from the partitioning index plus 1th index. Okay, so which is in this case is I plus 1. Now we are gonna do the swapping of negative index element and the positive index element, which we are doing in these three lines. And we go for next iteration, the positive will get incremented by 1 and the negative will get incremented by 2. This entire loop will execute till POS is less than n and negative index is obviously less than the positive index, which was getting satisfied in our current example, and the element present at the negative index should be less than 0. Okay, so when this while loop will get completed, you'll have your desired output, which will have the alternative elements of positive and negative starting from the positive elements. Thank you.